What is living in Mexico like for a foreigner? I've been living in Mexico now for a year. When I first got here, I didn't know what to expect and I didn't know how long I would stay here. Fast forward to today and I'm engaged with a Mexican woman. We live in an apartment in Monterrey. We have a cat, soon to be joined by a dog. I'm not a typical tourist or a traveler. I'm here doing work for myself as a copywriter and web designer. I work at home, I go to the gym, I visit the mall, we go to the movies, and I cook food. No beaches, sunbeds, or mojitos in a hammock. Up to this point, I lived in Malta, Portugal, and Spain, so it's not the first time for me to live abroad. And for my current lifestyle, it doesn't actually matter that much where I live. My life has all the comforts I need, and I get around with an Uber when I need to. However, there are many benefits to live in Mexico. Food, rent, and bills are here a little cheaper than in many other countries. For reference, 1 kilo of ground beef costs $9. 12 eggs, $1.75. 6-pack of good beer is $5. Eating out in a normal restaurant costs about $30 for two with the tip included. We live in Monterrey, that is 2 hours away from the US border. It's a modern, car-centric city offering everything we need. Malls, movie theaters, historic center with bars and live music, restaurants, museums, parks, events, and so on. 5.4 million people live in the metropolitan area, which means the city could fit the total population of my home country, Finland. At the moment, I'm happy just to work at home at the expense of social life. But I would like to find an international community here in Monterrey. Surprisingly, it's quite rare to see foreigners. So why are we here? First 8 months I was enjoying my life in Mexico City, but my fiancée got a job opportunity here in Monterrey and we decided to jump. We came in May and struggled with the hot weather during the summer. Monterrey is located on an edge of a hot desert climate zone. That meant walking to 7-Eleven to buy a bottle of water was enough to warrant taking a shower right after, being soaking wet. But because of the drought, the water was rationed at times and ran only a few hours per day. Daily temperatures were between 35 to 40 degrees in the afternoon, Celsius, around 100 Fahrenheit. Now in October it's finally cooler and I must admit that I never waited for the winter so much. We didn't do any hiking yet on the surrounding mountains, so I'm looking forward to doing some outdoor activities during the winter. Would I recommend living in Mexico? Why not? If you're working remotely or you have your own business, Mexico offers a great alternative with good level of security, friendly people, and the best food in the world. I intend to live here for the foreseeable future. Likely not too long in Monterrey, but that remains to be seen. If you consider living here, come to visit Mexico City for a few weeks to get a taste. If you like it, apply for the temporary residency in your home country in the Mexican embassy so you can live here for 1 year. Getting a residency requires relatively high monthly income, just that you know. Doing paperwork in Mexico is quite slow, just that you know. But after you get the residency, it's easier to get the extension and finally a permanent residency. Okay, let's answer 2 typical questions about Mexico. Is Mexico safe? I lived 8 months in Mexico City and now 6 months in Monterrey, and I never had any real trouble. In my opinion, Mexico is safe when you simply have normal situational awareness. And Narcos Mexico does not represent the normal life here. Can you get by speaking English in Mexico? ¿Hablas inglés? Well, if you're a tourist going between your hotel and upscale restaurants, you're probably fine with English. But if you want to live here and communicate with the locals, you need a basic level of Spanish to get by. At the moment, I'm not improving my level because we mostly speak English at home, but I get by with daily things using my Spanish. What are some things I like about Mexico? I like spicy snacks and candies with chamoy. I never had it anywhere else. I also started liking popcorn with chili sauce. I like tacos, al pastor, gringas. I like Mexican music. I like the nature. I like the relaxed lifestyle and warm people. I like Mexican beer. I like Mexican Spanish. And I love my woman. Looking forward, I want to work smart to be more successful, to have the means to travel around Mexico. I haven't seen any beaches yet or the jungle, so we have many places to visit. For any questions or feedback, you can write a comment below and I'll be happy to reply. If you want to see more videos about living in Mexico, you can click this right here.